Hello, Meow Meows. Thank you for your time today. My name is Kai.
And my name is Kat, and we are the 6 a.m. Meow Meows.
Happy Tuesday. We are so happy to be here today.
What we plan to focus on within this first series, Rising with the Sun, is the importance of connecting with yourself.
Healing, understanding, and becoming present with yourself. Intending your energy and presence for the day.
And setting up the foundation for your future. We love discussing topics together, but more than anything, we love to learn. So stay tuned for information on how you can join these conversations. Alrighty, Meow Meows, let's get started.
Meow.
Meow!
Hi, Kat.
Hi, Kai.
How are you this morning?
I am absolutely fantastic.
That makes me so happy to hear.
Yeah.
I love being here with you.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
It is. It's a pleasure of all of the pleasure chemicals.
A pleasure of all of the pleasure chemicals. I would tend to agree.
Ah, beautiful. So, I'm just going to start off by asking, why do you think mindfulness is important?
Such a good question.
Ooh.
Such a great topic. So excited to dive in. To me, mindfulness is taking back your power. It's recognizing that you're a human having human experiences, and you can show up to your emotion. You can recognize the validity of your emotion, and you can send off difficult thoughts and emotions without judgment or blame. And in that, you have a far faster recovery time and exuberant growth. Mindfulness has been so key for me in recognizing that I'm a human, having a human experience, and beginning to let other people be who they need to be, not who I want them to be or how I want them to see me. And I can let them be them, and I can let me be me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You kind of hit like every mark on every
think-
corner there.
I think that people can understand mindfulness to be different things to different people. But to me, it is stepping out of yourself and stepping into yourself at the same time.
Yes.
And it's the ability to watch yourself experience life.
It is.
Through the difficult times and through the really good times.
It's awareness. It's mindfulness and awareness definitely go hand in hand. When you become more aware through the experience you've experienced, you become more mindful of that specific situation or experience or emotion because you were being aware.
It's like mindfulness is true experience, and true experience is mindfulness.
It is. And I love that you said taking back your power and your energy. Oh my God, mindfulness is absolutely taking your power back because it's you existing with you and allowing, yes, other people to be them. And I think that's so beautiful, Kat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to kind of go back. Where or how mindful were you 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Or even a year ago, whichever one speaks better to you.
I know. I think I usually think about things in terms of 2 years, which I've expressed to you before.
Yes.
So thank you for asking for my 2 years ago. So I was definitely not mindful. I was aware, but I was not mindful. And I was thoughtful, but I wasn't considerate. And so the difference between those things is thoughtful to me is having a lot of thoughts. And, there's just not really a better way to describe thinking and overthinking except thoughtful. But thoughtful is often assumed to be considerate to a lot of people, and thoughtful and caring and, considerate of others. But to me, thoughtful is how I describe lots of thoughts, lots of considerations lots of thoughts, but not very many considerations. And I think that's really important to differentiate, because I wasn't considering that those thoughts weren't working for me. I wasn't considering that maybe I didn't need to be thinking so much. Maybe I needed to just be with myself.
You were just going through the motions.
I was definitely going through the motions, and the only way I knew how to get through them was to survive.
Yeah.
And I was in survival thinking
for
all of the time.
Long time.
Where were you 2 years ago with your mindfulness?
Well, it's very funny because I was not fully aware at all of how mindfulness plays a huge part in our lives. I don't know. The sound of that 2 years ago was bullshit. I was like, okay, mindfulness, whatever. That's willy-nilly people that, I don't know. I didn't know what to think about it because I wasn't aware of it in general. So I guess I couldn't have an opinion on that specifically. But I mean, through different reading, meditation, stretching, and really honing in and focusing on my breathing had really brought me to a very mindful spot in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for not being mindful then, because it's brought me to the mindfulness today. Because it affected my whole lifestyle. I not choosing not to find awareness and being mindful had very negative effects on my life.
Yeah.
And I was happy in ways, but I wasn't happy in others, in lots of ways.
So since you've started practicing mindfulness, and I would definitely describe you as one of the most present and peaceful, mindful people that I know. Mm-hmm. So how do you think mindfulness has affected your life?
Ooh, I find that it has brought me a lot of calmness through the relaxation. Because through being mindful, it's given me the ability to genuinely choose to slow down in my life.
Yeah.
Which has helped me relax and helps me to be calm. And it's a constant, it's always, I mean, I'm not perfect. I don't do that every second of every day, because I have to a lot of times remind myself that I need to slow down. I need to take a breath to bring my mind back to myself.
Yeah.
How has it affected your life?
Well, I'm still practicing it every day, all the time. And so I think the biggest way that it's helped me is I don't necessarily sit down to get present and get mindful every morning or every night, which is something I should do, but I hate using the word should, because I think should doesn't usually get done.
No.
So it's something I could do.
I feel like you do that though.
You're right. I do it, but I'm still thinking throughout the time. So you're right. I've put in the practice to create that space for myself, but I'm still working on letting the thoughts go.
Of course.
Which is a beautiful process, and I love myself for it. And I love my mind, and I love that it doesn't want to let go of thoughts, and
yes.
I will show up to that. But so what it's most helped me with is when I am faced with a difficult circumstance, when I am faced with a difficult emotion, and I know that I am feeling a type of way, I can step out of myself without blaming the other person, without blaming the circumstance, without letting my mind go, oh, that was so triggering, and that was so messed up that person said that, and that this is happening, and I'm so upset because of
because of this,
and
because of that.
I say, I am feeling really uncomfortable right now. I'm feeling really anxious. I'm feeling a little bit triggered, and I don't know exactly what I am feeling, but I can notice this emotion. I can notice the sensation.
That it's affecting you.
Absolutely. And in being able to recognize that, I can take the space that I need. And it has helped so much with my confidence and my security.
Oh.
Because basically I'm not identifying with unpleasant emotions anymore.
No.
I'm not blaming anything outside of me for the way I feel inside of me. And in that, I just feel so much more whole and so much more connected to myself. And yeah, I feel secure and I feel confident.
That is beautiful. So, okay, so my thought instantly went to owning your shit.
Owning your shit?
You're owning your emotions.
Oh, thank
even
you.
if they're not, even if they're negative or positive, you're owning that you're having these emotions. So you're owning your shit, and it's giving you confidence and security.
Yeah. That's
wow.
insanely important. And I was just about to ask you, how would you describe mindfulness? But if I can throw in a little quote, because you just inspired me.
Of course.
So I'm reading this book called, I'm reading a few books right now.
I know.
All of which
so
I'm
many
going to
books.
throw in this episode. But I'm reading Emotional Agility by Susan David. And so she says, what is mindfulness at its fundamental? Mindfulness is noticing your thought as a thought and noticing an emotion as an emotion and saying to yourself, I'm noticing my thought as a thought and I'm noticing my emotion as an emotion. And I'm noticing that thought there. I'm feeling that emotion there. And it's the ability to experience an emotion and to step out of it at the same time.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because when you said, when you're able to notice it, and I'm like, that is mindfulness.
It is.
It's noticing it.
It's acknowledging that it exists.
Absolutely.
It's coming to terms with the awareness. So, I mean, like what Susan David said, I mean, going into that, you're not only feeling that moment or that emotion, but you're existing in it.
Yes. Again, that existence.
You're not only feeling it, you are existing in it. You are with it. You are here in this moment. I'm here in this moment with you, Kat, sitting here.
Yeah.
Like one of my good friends, Raquel, she provided this to me and really started getting me into going slower. We went to this park and we were going to just go exploring and take some photos, and it's a 25 or 35 mile per hour little drive, and she was going 10 or 15 miles an hour. I was like, I just sat there for a moment. She's like, I love going slow because then I can just watch the trees. I can feel the energy from the ground. I can feel the air come through the car window. Wow.
Yeah, both of us.
I was like, wow, you're not only feeling this moment, you're existing in it. And I've really started learning to do that myself.
I had this moment the other day on a bike ride, and it kind of came to me. And so when ideas come to me or realizations come to me, I have to put them in my body somewhere, or I have to put them on my body somewhere, which I've walked you through.
It's so stupid cute.
It's so stupid cute. It's so stupid cute. But I learned this technique from Jim Quick, and
thank you, Jim.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. So he went through, like, if you were remembering a grocery list, and so you go from the top of your head to your eyes, to your shoulders, to your stomach, to your pelvis, to your knees, to your feet. And so he was like, if you have to remember avocados, imagine someone making guacamole on your head. And it's so ridiculous that you'd never forget it. And so the more crazy and funny and goofy it is, the more your brain's going to pay attention because it's attaching all that emotion to it. So I put things in my body when I need to remember that I need to remember them. And I'm sure there's many examples that I could share.
I was going to say, which one are you going to choose?
Well, so
your bike ride, yes.
Yes. I was on my bike, and I realized that, the presence, if you want to call the energy between us, the energy of God, the energy of the universe, which any mindful person can tell you they've experienced.
Oh, yeah. One way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And, you can experience it when you're in church, when you're in a church. You feel that. And it is, it's a real sensation. And so I just call it the presence. but I realized the presence can only present itself to me when I'm present enough to perceive it. The presence can only present itself to me when I am present enough to perceive it. And I was like, fuck, if that's amazing, where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put that? And immediately I was like, I have to put it in my butt. And then I'm like, oh, of course. PP.
This girl has been talking about how she can't wait to tell me about PPPP. I'm like, what is she talking about?
PPPP. PP.
Oh my God.
You'll never forget it.
The presence only presents itself to you when you're present enough to perceive it. God damn it. You thought of that?
I did.
Wow. Can you be proud of yourself for a second?
Thank you.
That is close your eyes. The presence only presents itself to you when you are present enough to perceive it. Wow.
I'm almost more proud of PPPP.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is great.
It's so funny, and how can you ever forget that?
Yeah.
It's PPPP. That is so good.
PPPP.
Makes me need to pee now.
You'll never forget it. So,
yes.
I think that is how I would describe mindfulness.
Yeah, that's a huge presence. Wow.
Never forget.
I can't get over that, Kat. So
Thank you
for expressing that, and I'm finally excited to hear what PPPP is, because I've just been so lost. Like, what is she gonna tell me? Because I have no idea.
It's so good. Anyway, I could get that tattooed on my body. I'm just like,
just the P, just the P, just the letter P, just PPPP. Just, I love that. That would be so good and so funny.
I'm probably not gonna get a tattoo.
No,
but
you could. That would be funny. Just a little tiny one. I mean, you could put it like on your butt or on your hip. That would be funny. That could be your cutie mark.
We will move on.
Okay, so some of the ways, well, at least to start practicing, because you can't just, I mean, you can, I suppose, but it's a practice. Mindfulness and awareness is.
I would definitely call it a practice. And I just want to quickly differentiate between mindfulness and meditation.
Yeah.
So mindfulness is a practice. It is something that you practice, kind of like yoga. Like you're not getting to an end goal. And it also takes effort. Yeah. It does take effort to center yourself. Whereas meditation is breathing work and letting your mind be active and your body release. And it's really interesting because meditation is a lot of breath work. And the breath is really what gets you there faster than anything.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas mindfulness is calming you down right away in the beginning.
And being present in that present moment.
Absolutely. And it's the practice of presence, whereas meditation is the release.
Release.
Mm-hmm.
Release.
The release of the reality. I don't know.
The release of an active mind.
It's, well, yeah, a little bit. So, and I have not meditated before. You know, I can say that I've worked on my mindfulness, but I have never actually done a meditation where I'm sitting for multiple hours or I'm sitting for even a half hour. But it's something I will explore one day. All of the great leaders, of course they meditate. Of course they meditate.
It takes time.
It does take time.
Guided meditations are great.
Yes.
That's how I started.
And I do like guided meditations, but I still find that it's guiding me somewhere rather than me actually releasing. So again, yes, I just wanted to make clear that it is a practice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But I mean, to start it, you have to start getting into choosing to get into the routine of it. So choosing that even can be 15 minutes one day a week.
So yeah, okay. So you're saying create the routine of making the space where you practice mindfulness.
Yes.
Okay.
So it could be, okay, before I go to bed, I'm going to lay down on my ground. I'm going to get comfy wherever I'm at. I'm going to be calm, and just relax my body through my breathing and just feel those emotions or whatever actually ends up coming up.
Yeah.
And once you start getting into the routine of doing that, then it becomes a habit where it just automatically starts happening.
And I think I am getting better at that. Like you mentioned before, I do give my space. I give myself space to do that. But that was really challenging for me in the beginning. So for anyone who has a really overactive mind or who has a lot of energy and says, fuck no, I'm not going to sit with myself.
Right.
Go on a walk. Go on a walk. And so an opposition that will get you kind of to the same end point is I used to go on walks every morning, and it's kind of just gotten a little bit colder, so I've stopped a little bit, but I would go on walks as the sun rose or as it had just come up, and I would just look at the world around me, and I would let every little detail mean something to me. I would let every little detail have an effect on my perceptions, and I would let myself become present by just existing in the world.
Yes.
I didn't have to become present in my body. I could become present in the world around me.
Yes.
So for anyone who's like, God, I definitely don't want to sit with myself for even 15 minutes, start with a walk.
Yes.
And a walk every day, just a nice easygoing stroll out in nature, will literally change your life in a year.
Now, a walk with or without headphones in?
I used to do, so I don't listen to music, but I would listen to, it's called like chakra healing music. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
just
it's
like
the
noise.
frequencies.
Yeah, and I like those too.
And so make sure that it's not words. And to me, it shouldn't be music that you're familiar with.
No.
Because then there's memories attached to that.
There's memories attached and you're just focusing on that. You are there, you are existing, but you're not working towards anything. You're staying there.
Something that helped me was doing, I would do my morning affirmations while I did my walk. And so it was something that I'd be thinking about, but not thinking about the things I'd normally be thinking about.
Yes.
And it was just a really nice way of grounding me and centering me. And every time I got distracted, another affirmation would just come up. And so I could recenter myself every single time.
Get yourself ready for the day.
Yeah. And we will link these guided meditations, affirmations below. Kyla, I don't know what channel you follow, but
It's YouTube.
Well, I mean, I follow YouTube too.
There's a few different ones off of YouTube that I've found and that I've enjoyed that it got me started. That I
have to shout out Jason Stephenson. He is Australian. He has such a calming voice. He has done so well on YouTube. He just takes so much care to like create these videos, and he has changed my life in 2020.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's an inspiration of mine to become that, like do ASMR
Kyla, you absolutely will.
I know I will.
Yeah.
It'll be good. I already
We
do
can
that
literally
with
do that later. Like we should record our own affirmations.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah, we're going to do that so soon.
Anyways, so another tool to at least start getting you into being mindful is, again, breathing. So either sitting with yourself or going for that walk and just stepping away from those distractions. So maybe you don't need to listen to your favorite songs and your headphones when you're going for your walk. My favorite thing when I go to like the grocery store, when I'm on a bike ride or when I'm walking around town, I put headphones in, but I don't have anything playing. I don't play anything, so then nobody talks to me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if somebody sees me and they see I have headphones in, I don't talk to someone if they have headphones in because I don't want to disrupt what they're listening to.
That's a good point too, especially like the idea of cutting out distractions to start practicing mindfulness.
I mean, and distractions don't have to be just your headphones. They can be any type of craving. So it could be like your food, shopping.
Because I feel like when I try and sit down to get present, these cravings come up.
Oh,
food cravings come up especially. And or even the craving to go do some work or
go
to
do
go
something.
Get something done.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it's so interesting because cravings are like children. You don't have to comply with them.
No.
And if you just sit with the urge but not dive into it, you will discover very interesting things about yourself. Now, this is a tool I got from Natalie Bacon's podcast, Designing Your Dream Life. And The episode was, what are you escaping?
What are you escaping?
What are you escaping? And I didn't understand what she was talking about at all in the beginning, but she said, your cravings are what is satisfying you.
To
basically
fill in those.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or to distract you more so from what you're escaping. And usually what you're escaping is a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're escaping boredom. Right. So you watch TV or you eat. Let's say you're escaping insecurity. So you watch TV or you eat or you shop or you drink. Or imagine this. You're escaping the present moment. And maybe it looks like boredom to you. Maybe it looks like other nasty feelings that you don't want to sit with. But you are escaping the present moment when it's available to you. And I think just asking yourself, why am I escaping right now? Why am I escaping this moment? And I have to ask myself that all the time. So I've worked on this a lot this year. And there's a few different habits that I have successfully cut down on massively. And I've cut my emotional ties to them, my emotional need for them. Mm-hmm. And I started doing this by noticing the distractions objectively.
Notice the distractions objectively.
Don't label them. Don't judge them. Don't ignore them.
Don't blame them.
Don't blame them. Say, I am wanting to escape the feeling of stress. And I notice I eat. I definitely eat, especially if I'm starting to get stressed out.
Yeah.
I still notice myself going for a drink if I'm overwhelmed. And I don't usually go for it, but I can tell if I get to a day and if I get to a point in a day where I say, I don't know how to deal with this. And my habitual behavior says, well, let's find something to fix it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fix it. You don't have to comply with the craving. Notice it objectively. And even if you're not willing to let go of that habit, just beginning to say, I see you there. I understand why I'm doing it. I have love for you. And even if you make the decision to comply, I'm still going to love you. But I see it. And I saw it. And you know I saw it because you saw it and we all saw it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that is very, very helpful.
That's very interesting because a year and a half ago, I was still struggling. And sometimes I still do struggle is how to label the emotion. Where do I even start to find? I have all of these feelings and I have all of these thoughts, but how do I get to the point of labeling? What is the label? Sometimes I Google what I'm feeling.
The best way to start to, especially as you are trying to objectively notice it, is that you don't do what's going to make you feel better. Yeah.
So don't go and watch a movie.
Yeah, definitely. Like, and if you want to go watch a movie because you're not equipped to deal with that today, or if you're,
or if you wanted to watch a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, do whatever you're going to do, but let's say you're really stressed about something.
Yep.
And how you fix that stress is maybe you overthink it. That's usually how I cope with every feeling that I don't want to deal with.
But then it makes the stress worse.
Yeah, which is really interesting.
It's stupid.
But my brain will go so many different areas just to escape that sensation.
Wow.
So now I say, it's okay that I'm feeling that way.
Yeah.
And I bring myself right back down and I say, hey,
come back.
Hey. Yeah,
sit.
Come back. You're feeling really stressed right now. You're feeling insecure right now. You're feeling small right now. You're feeling unworthy right now. You're allowed to feel those feelings. And I don't need to escape it.
No.
And neither do you. This is me talking to me.
I know it is.
But something I wanted to touch on. So this is another tip. This is another practice for mindfulness training, especially at the beginning. But notice and know that you are not your thoughts. You are the one aware of your thoughts. So as your mind is going, and your mind is saying this and it's saying that, and it's arguing with itself, you're like, am I the thought? Am I the original thought? Or am I the one arguing with it? You're neither. all of these different conversations going on in your head, you are none of those. You are the one who never speaks. You are the one seated in the deepest part of you, and you just watch. You just observe. You just experience. You just exist. That is you. That is who you truly are.
You are energy.
You are energy. And so your brain is just an organ in the body doing its own function. You wouldn't say you're your heart.
No.
You wouldn't say you are your gut. You wouldn't say you're your feet. You wouldn't say you're your hands.
Nope.
You wouldn't say you're your eyes. So why are you your brain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
You're not.
You're not your brain.
No. This is from the other book I'm reading. It's called An Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And the first section is Awakened Consciousness. First chapter is You Are Not Your Thoughts. And it has been huge just in the last week.
I want to read it.
Yeah, I'll probably buy it for you.
Oh, cute.
But yes, so I think as someone is beginning to practice mindfulness, and as you notice that your brain is not going to quickly comply with quieting down, recognizing throughout your day, this is a way that you can begin to practice mindfulness throughout your day. You don't need to sit down. You don't need to get present.
No.
You can get present in the current moment as these things start popping up, because they will.
Yeah, they exist.
Yeah. They do.
So why do some people say mindfulness is hard?
Well, I think the better question is, why do people think mindfulness isn't important?
Why? Say that again.
Why don't people think mindfulness is important?
Why don't people think mindfulness is important?
And if I was to guess, because I used to be one of these people, is when you're existing in your mind, and when you're existing in the material world, the physical world, you forget that you are energy. You forget that there is a true essence of you. You forget that there is an experience with you, an expression of you. And the only requirement of being a human is existing. But we get caught up in all of these other things, and we think, oh, I need to create more. I am matter creating matter.
No.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what if you're energy creating matter?
Your energy creating matter. You're creating energy through your energy that goes into the matter.
Yeah.
Which creates the experience.
I think
circumstances.
And you can't convince someone to think of mindfulness as important.
No.
You absolutely cannot, because if someone's in that survival state of thinking, they're not going to come out of it for anything.
No.
Because they think they have to survive.
Exactly. Because they're not there yet.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. So it's not a practice you can convince someone else of.
But it is a practice.
It is a practice. And if it's something that you're considering for yourself, which I would recommend, because it's a practice that will yield you tremendous release. It will yield you tremendous release and calm and peace and freedom.
The fact that you feel alive.
The fact that you feel your existence. Life is so much better. And if I can just point out, if you can't exist now with the things you have, with where you're at.
Oh, yeah.
How the hell do you think you're supposed to exist later? Oh, I'll be better when, or I'll be happy when, or it will be okay when. If you can't be with you now, you can't be with you then.
No.
That's why
you can work on yourself today.
Exactly.
Even more so for then, but today's only today.
And tomorrow's only tomorrow.
Oh,
Imagine negating an experience that you could have right now because you think something outside of you has to change first. Yeah. So mindfulness. It's been such a big practice of 2020, and I'm really, 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 really grateful to be on this journey and to be on this journey with you.
Oh, I'm so grateful for that. And I love that the being grateful aspect is definitely celebrating the attempts and the successes we've had with mindfulness.
Yeah, it is an attempt, and sometimes you miss the mark.
It's a forever practice. There's no perfect.
There is no perfect. And as someone goes, especially as they're starting, especially as I'm continuing to practice now, this is great advice for myself. But I don't need to judge my thoughts. I don't need to judge my emotions. As I become more mindful and I become more aware of myself and where I'm at, I'm not going to judge myself for having a thought. The thought is the thought. Once I try and judge it, I am essentially splitting my mind in two, because judgment is an act of the mind. So, my act of the mind to judge itself doesn't make any sense.
It's just hurting yourself.
It's absolutely just hurting yourself. Thoughts are going to come up, emotions are going to come up, and they're not going to be very pleasant.
No,
but there's no reason to judge them.
They're there for some reason.
Right.
So
and let them be.
Let them be and work through them, because you are working on you. And that is absolutely enough to celebrate. You are working on you.
That is enough to celebrate.
And I'm working on me.
Wow.
You are
I wish I
working
could
on
hold
you.
your hand right now.
Holding hand.
We're
too far away.
I can still feel your energy.
I can feel your energy.
Oh my God.
Holding your hand.
Wow.
You are working on you. And that is fucking enough.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Same to all of us. Same to all of us, Meows.
You are working on you. And that is enough.
You are working on you, and that is enough.
And continuously working on yourself. Now, if you give up on yourself and can start to judge yourself, then damn it.
I mean, you'll
smack yourself
watch.
in the face and say, okay, stop it. You are working on you.
Yep. And you'll watch and you'll see the alternative. Mm-hmm. Once you start working on yourself,
oh my God,
stopping. The alternative to working on yourself is stagnant energy. It's staying the same. Boring. It's reverting backwards.
It's not fun. You're just you're
I promise.
you're the 8-year-old that never grew up.
I promise. It's not worth it.
It's not.
Be patient with yourself. And no, I'm going to say it again. Celebrate. Working on you is enough.
It is.
It's enough to celebrate. I love you, Kai Kai.
I love you, Miss Cat, and I enjoy our mindfulness experiences.
Me too. I'm really excited that we got to touch on this topic today.
Me too.
It is my ongoing practice, and it will be a forever practice.
It is a forever practice. Always realigning and bringing my mind back to that present moment of, this is where I'm at.
This is where I'm at, and that's okay.
It is. I love you, Cat.
I love you, Kai.
Meow, meow. Alrighty, you lovely meows. We love you deeply, and we thank you dearly for joining us in our journey today.
Subscribe to the 6 a.m. Meow Meows to get notifications for future episodes. If you wish for more meows in your life, you can connect with us on Instagram for additional insight into the topics discussed, inspiration that has encouraged us, and of course, cats. We also include questions to ask yourself, writing prompts, as well as tools, tips, and tricks related to today's episode.
If you're more of a visual person, find us on YouTube for the video version of these podcasts, or you can join us on the conversations on Facebook. Share what you think, what you learned, or something you would like to add to our discussions.
To get in touch with us, or if you have any questions, email us at the6ammeowmeows@gmail.com.
All of these links will be listed below, so scroll on down to get connected.
As always, we are learning on this journey, so your comments, perspectives, ideas, and considerations are not only appreciated, but a fundamental part in helping us gain understanding and shifting our current realities.
Again, thank you for your time, and have a perfect rest of your day. Goodbye, beautiful meow meows.
Bye!